And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Today is Wednesday, July 17th. Welcome to News 12 Now. I'm Kylie Dudman. Well, new on News 12 Now, a Guatemalan man wanted for aggravated sexual assault of a child in Grayson County was arrested by U.S. Marshals in Maryland this morning. The warrant for 21-year-old Christopher Lopez Contreras was issued by the South Maid Police earlier this month. He'll be extradited back to Grayson County. And one of two major tech hubs currently being built in Texoma is receiving funding from the federal government. The Commerce Department has signed a deal with Global Wafers to award the company up to $400 million in funding for its facilities in Sherman and St. Peters, Missouri. It will go towards the country's first 300-millimeter silicon wafer factory for advanced chips. Global Wafers says the project would bring 1,200 construction jobs and 750 manufacturing jobs to Texoma. The Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority cut its staff by 10%. Between 25 and 30 employees were laid off yesterday. OMMA Executive Director Adria Berry says it's a reflection of the shrinking industry with the state's commercial license numbers decreasing. She also cited a limited budget for the layoffs. Employees who were let go were offered severance pay and continued health insurance coverage. Also new this afternoon, a Paris woman went into the Lamar County Sheriff's Office and stole a picture off the wall Tuesday night. Listen to this. According to the Paris police, Tamaron Robinson went into the office lobby and stole a framed picture of Sheriff Scott Cass from the wall of the lobby. An officer caught her in the nearby area as she was walking away with the picture. She was arrested and placed in the county jail. Well, turning to weather now, meteorologist Brian Briggs is joining us now. Brian, what could we be expecting for our Wednesday?
Well, the big talk of today is that cold front starting to kind of work into Texoma. Not really bringing too much of a temperature swing with it, but hey, temperatures have not changed much from this morning. And that's really the big point there, is that we are not in the mid to upper 90s like we have been really the last several weeks at this point in the day. If anything, Ada is at 77. So they're living life there. Tishomingo, Medill, not too bad either. And not even that bad here in Sherman Denison, just a little bit hotter off towards the south and east. There you can kind of see it. It's a mess on the wind graphic, but generally speaking, this thing is close to the Red River. So light winds overall with it, and a few showers and isolated thunderstorms trying to develop along the front from southern Grayson into southern Fannin counties. So there is additional activity expected today, and the strongest storms could be across parts of North Texas. This has actually been reduced somewhat, so there's some good news there. We're going to bring you the latest on this and the additional chances of rain that we could be seeing coming up here in just a little bit. Until then, back to you, Kylie.
All right, thank you, Brian. Well, Howe city officials met Tuesday evening to determine the fate of the small town's police chief. After a vote that was raised by Councilman Sean Tyler, the city of Howe voted to terminate the contract of Police Chief Carl Hudman. Both the city and police department declined to comment when we asked why this had happened. Former Chief Hudman deferred to his lawyer, who told News 12 off camera to, quote, "Look out for the lawsuit. We will keep you updated as the story continues to unfold." And the winner of Oklahoma's Teacher of the Year is from Ada. 10 finalists, but only one winner for the award, and Ada High School's very own Rachel Keith claimed it. The title on Monday honored by State Superintendent Ryan Walters. The 10th through 12th grade teacher of AP Language and Composition, Mock Trial and Humanities says she and her family were welcomed to Ada 19 years ago. For the next year, Keith will travel around the state, serving as the Oklahoma Ambassador of Teaching and represent Oklahoma by sharing knowledge and resources with educators around the state. Lisa Sager from Durant Public School was also in the finals, bringing Texoma pride from all over. And a former NFL player is back home in Texoma and once again keeping kids active during the summertime. For the second straight summer, Pottsboro native Justin Lawler is hosting a workout program for the local kids. The idea? To get kids off the couch and back onto the field, all while learning skills, both physical and mental. Former Super Bowl champion with the Los Angeles Rams, Lawler says he is taking everything he's learned and trying his best to pass it along.
I just try to give them a little bit, some pieces at a day. We've talked about anything from being a great teammate, being positive, mental and physical toughness. And hopefully just over a course of one summer, if each kid can take one thing away from it, I think that's well worth our time.
Although this summer's workouts end this week, the lessons learned will likely last a lifetime. The independent monitor overseeing the Trump Organization says the company will no longer estimate the values of its hotels and golf courses. It's a result of a $454 million judgment earlier this year that found Trump Org made up those values. It's all part of a broader report reviewing the current state of the Trump Organization's finances. The report reflected some deficiencies while noting the company has taken steps to improve. Specifically, the assessment found Trump Org, quote, maintains adequate internal control over its current financial reporting obligations, end quote. The Trump Organization's chief legal officer focused on that single part of the report and said the company is pleased with the assessment. And 2 U.S. senators want an explanation from a major communications company on a recent data hack. Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal and Republican Senator Josh Hawley want answers from AT&T on how its cloud platform was hacked in April to allow illegal downloading of info from 109 million customers' accounts. The stolen data includes customer calls and texts from 2022. The senators say cyber criminals, spies, and others could use customers' private data criminally and even sell it. AT&T says it will respond to the senators directly. President Biden reportedly plans to endorse major change to the Supreme Court, including proposals to establish term limits for the justices and an ethics code. Biden is also considering a call to eliminate broad immunity for presidents and other constitutional office holders. The changes would signify a shift for Biden, who has so far resisted calls over the years to reform the high court. The plan comes as outrage grows over recent scandals with 2 of the justices and decisions that have changed legal precedent on issues like federal regulatory powers and abortion. After former President Donald Trump was granted immunity from prosecution of official acts during his presidential term, Biden called a Harvard Law constitutional professor to discuss the ruling and the choice to reform the court. Well, we are now halfway through this week's Republican National Convention. Last night, some familiar faces took to the stage, including a few of the former president's most outspoken rivals from the campaign trail. Fox's Doug Luzader has more from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Each day of this Republican convention has a specific theme. Today, it is Make America Strong once again. Yesterday, the focus was on safety, and each day, the party is going to emphasize unity.
Let's send Joe Biden back to his basement, and let's send Donald Trump back to the White House.
In a show of GOP solidarity, Day 2 of the Republican National Convention saw several of Donald Trump's former rivals take center stage.
I'll start by making one thing perfectly clear. Donald Trump has my strong endorsement, period.
Nikki Haley, a late add to the evening's agenda following Saturday's shooting, received a standing ovation from the former president.
You don't have to agree with Trump 100% of the time to vote for him. Take it from me. I haven't always agreed with President Trump. But we agree more often than we disagree.
Florida Senator Marco Rubio, on Trump's short list for running mate until Monday, also made a push for the new Trump-Vance ticket.
We will not just make America great again. We will make America greater than it has ever been.
For an evening focused on the GOP's law and order message, Saturday's shooting offered an opportunity to address the Trump assassination attempt head on.
God Almighty intervened because America is one nation under God, and he is certainly not finished with President Trump.
Last Saturday was a jarring reminder that we, as Americans, must always remember. There is more that unites us than divides us.
And today we expect to hear from Trump's new running mate, Senator J.D. Vance. We expect him to formally accept his party's nomination as vice president. In Milwaukee, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Thank you for watching today's News 12 Now. Make sure to subscribe so you find out why Texoma turns to us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you'll see more social media exclusive content. Want more News 12 Now? Watch us live every weekday through the KXII app on your phone or TV and through our website.